transition into this Friday live, we have 3 topics of discussion here. One, fully expecting this drop. If you're in Telegram, I tried to alert everybody about the potential of this 5 to 10% here on these bear flags if they play down. Now, obviously, there's no guarantee that these play out. But I'll show you in the charts what is showing up. Hold on, I just want to send a message to my brother. He was trying to message me, but... Alright. But there's no guarantee they'll play out, but we have to pay attention because they look like they might. They very well might. It'll be a good indicator if XRP loses $3.06. We would go down to that $2.98 area, which would be appropriate for what we're seeing here. And then for Ethereum, if this did fall through this level, we would see the continued correction, and it could come all the way down here. It's possible that it holds on to the 4-hour time frame as well, but it's already come through in a certain sense. So any further drop here is going to be felt most likely across the board. Daily time frame, it's tough to say, but it looks like it's spinning into a reversal. And some of the things I've noticed, which cause for concern, were way overbought in the daily and the stochastic, which if you watched the live yesterday, I added some of these indicators to make it a little more clear for everybody. I did the paid $15 and something cents a month so that I could add some value here like I used to. But 4 years ago when I did this, you didn't have to pay for several indicators. Now TradingView, you know, every year they make it a little bit harder for retail to use. So we have that. And then we also have the moving average convergence divergence above. And right now, you know, we're flipping a little bit from green, as you can see, but it's the smaller time frames where we're oversold in the 4-hourly, but we still look to break back to a little more bearish here. Ride it out a little bit here in the 4-hourly for Ethereum and let the daily catch up is what it's looking like. Now, if we avoid this drop, we could immediately go up to 4,863 and try, but it does seem appropriate to, you know, have this second drop down here. The first drop is great. We made the roundabout, but it doesn't seem like we had enough. It seems like we should continue down here. Oh yeah, we'll definitely check XDC. Definitely. We'll check XDC because some were asking, Tom, why aren't you looking at XDC as much? It's simple because I talked about that 0.75 level. And until that happens... Oh, hold on. I got to answer this. Hello? No, I didn't. I'm on my live right now. Yeah. Hold on, everybody. My brother's reading off the suspension for Michigan. Yep. Big fucking deal. Thank you. My wall stands. My wall stands and I'll be wearing my championship belts. But yeah, we'll talk after this. That's about what I expected. Alright. Later. So everybody was waiting in Ohio for the hammer to get dropped on Michigan. They're like, oh, they're going to lose their championship. And I laughed it all off. And so we got a $20 million fine. And Jerome Moore, our head coach, got suspended for a few games. Big deal. Michigan's got the richest alumni base. We can easily suck up that $20 million. Anyhow, so you feel that? You smell that? Oh, I feel it and smell it. Those are tears down in Columbus, felt all the way in Michigan. We're probably going to have some rain here today. It's the tears from Columbus. All jokes aside. But yeah, so the value here as well as the Telegram, guys. I was in the gym this morning, and you guys know we've been beta testing our trading together, which is closed right now. But you guys helped me tremendously in the beta test. And going forward after this drop, we'll be able to open it again, yada, yada, yada. But what I put out at the gym today was bear flag suggests 5 to 10. And I put this morning setup for up and down. But then I put bear flags. I don't want to show the beta phase because unless you're in the Telegram, you don't need to know about that. Bear flag suggests 5 to 10% continuation down. Be aware and be safe today. Look for opportunity, but don't force it. Won't blame anyone for getting out of way in micro, but beware macro is very bullish and could flip at any time. And that was about an hour and a half ago. Everything was green when I posted that. And I even said and gave a hint, I would not care if you got out of the way in the micro. So, and that's for the Telegram. And then after that, almost immediately, everything decided to flip and actually make what I said look pretty spot on. But now we have to see if there's continuation. XRP and below 306 is zero surprise to me. None. And, you know, we'll get our first layer here, and it makes sense. 296, 295, reestablish the lower inverse right shoulder. That's what needs to happen here. So but the question is here across the board, do we get an overzealous drop? This is why I said I wouldn't kill you if you tried to get out of the way in the micro. Because if it does have an overzealous drop, we come down here and we're at 282. It does not invalidate this though, see, because I think we very well could find ourselves back in this area. I really do. I don't know if it's going to come all the way down. I don't know if this is going to break out, but I can definitely see the possibility here. So we just have to be understanding what could happen. Now, would I encourage you to close out a position? No. Because it's risky. What if it just immediately goes up? You know, that is the everlasting risk here. If it just goes up, you know, it's a problem. So, but you know, I can't tell you what to do. I can only warn you of what could be happening. The one thing that alerts me is the daily is way overbought right now. And it looks like we need a little shakeout here. Not to get everybody out and be, oh, the rich people are shaking out the poor people. It happens. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the fact that there's momentary times here when the market just needs to clear some liquidity. It just needs to clear some liquidity. So I think that could be a moment we're in right now, folks. I don't know. Am I making sense to anybody, or does this sound stupid? I'm always wondering if I sound stupid. Sorry, I was getting alerts on what was happening. But yeah, so I'm looking at these, and everything I look at looks like ZIL. I love it, but it does seem like we should get a better option down here at the minimum around 1057 area. Like, it looks like that's what's happening. Like, we were a little early, and this very well could play down here. I'm not shy to say it. I'm just so. I don't know. I don't like when people are like, oh, he's just telling us to buy and sell, buy and sell. No, we're looking for the areas of liquidity. And right now there's options that expire today. Another reason to be in the Telegram. I shared this morning before I even shared my morning setup at 8:17 at 7:51 a.m. And this is like my X account. I don't like Twitter. I don't like X. So we do it in our own format. So we put $6.110 billion worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum's options will expire today. Expect high volatility. So I am able to talk to you guys through the Telegram at a high level. And look, we were out of the way. We knew this. Sound is bad. Uh-oh. Is it still bad? They're cracking me out because of what we're doing. See, they won't let me talk to you. But I don't hesitate telling people when I think something's going to happen in the market. I am not going to lie. I'm going to tell you, like, this is an opportunity to look, maybe have some funds to the side, do whatever you got to do. Better now. It's fixed itself. Oh, okay, perfect. But I also don't believe that they're actually trying to shake us out, because I don't think they care about that. They need our liquidity. That's different. When we say shake out, when we see this isn't for spot shaking out, guys. This is to get rid of the liquidity and take that easy money. Remember, I shared something yesterday that I don't want you guys to forget. And again, I'll reference the Telegram because it's just easier for me to get to. And if this isn't encouragement enough to be part of the Telegram, I don't know what is. But yesterday I also shared why we shouldn't be scared here. Oh no, I shared it in the general chat, I believe. Right, where is this at? I said look at the bright side. So Ethereum exchange liquidation map, and this was as of yesterday, at 4,872. So after all these options expire, right? We might even go down to 4,000 for Ethereum. I don't know, because we haven't back tested that area, which is interesting. That breakout point. But we have cumulative Bitcoin short liquidations at 2.04 billion. That will grow as we come down. And then remember, when those shorts get covered, when they get liquidated and those shares are forced to be bought at 4,872, that's going to soar over 5 to 6K, probably. That's why we're going down for these liquidation strikes. We need liquidity. Now, does it follow through completely? I don't know. We can only go by what the patterns look like. If it hangs on here, that would be great, and we could avoid this step. But I'm anticipating at least a move to clear out this daily, and we can see the stochastic is starting to clear out now. We just need that to clear out a little bit. And it would warrant a drop down here. And the farther it drops here, 298 would be okay, or 295 would be good. But the farther it drops, let's say it comes to 283 or 285, that would be fantastic. I would be more inclined for a drop like that to clear this daily stochastic out. Weekly would help out in the same regard. Monthly is already flipping up, so that's a good thing. And coming down here would not invalidate the structure. It would just slow it down a little bit this week. But the monthly still has a lot of time left. So the monthly still got the second half of the month after this, if this plays out. And we know we're looking good right now with the moving average convergence. Divergence is flipping up. We know we've broken bullish in the stochastic RSI and the monthly. This won't affect it on this movement. Weekly needs to clear out. Maybe it comes back to the mid-tier section at about 50. Daily was overbought. Now it's flowing down. So maybe we do come to the midsection, but I think we should come back down to over. It would warrant us to clear this out, flip the liquidity, but with options today, that's why it's hard to say exactly what is going to happen. With extreme volatility, these can be liquidity strikes both ways, and then ultimately it doesn't fill out what looks like bear flags. I mean, yeah, it's coming down right now and making it look like it could, but like, you have to go to assets. Like, it's hard to see it on Ethereum. You can just see that it hasn't back tested farther down. So it would warrant coming down to maybe the shoulder down here, or maybe a little bit farther and see how it reacts. 4 hourly's clearing out. Daily's way overbought still, and it flipped bearish. At least with the trend line, it flipped through it. So we're still way in overbought territory in the stochastic RSI. So that's definitely a cause for concern in the daily. The weekly's way overbought. That's another concern that I have in the stochastic. Like, we need a clear out event. And a nice drop down to like 4,000, 3,993, maybe even 4,170 would get the job done. In my, it would clear some of this out. The options would expire. But I don't know if it's going to play out. We have so much liquidity on the top side at 4,872, like $2 billion, that would continue to grow. Some people would sell out, but it would grow still. My question is do they actually allow this to come through? Are these bear flags giving us a warning signal here? Like a real warning signal? Because we do see it pretty much, it's pretty much across the board. Like, you can't hide it. I can't hide it. Like, all you have to do is go on all these assets and you can see the bear flag. You measure it on a rejection at the 200. And this is in the 3 hours, so technically we could do it in the 2, but it's going to be pretty close. I would suggest the 2 hour. Death cross here now confirmed on a back test rejection, and now we've got the 20 cross through the 200. We now have a short-term pattern confirmation on the flip with the death cross. Now the question is does it follow through and come? Oh, it's right in the area we talked about. Does it come down to $2.86? And Nunya, thank you so much. Yes, you did, Crypto Cooter, and I was very proud of you the way you posted it. And you even were telling people, don't worry. This is just, and you posted 3 fantastic views of it on the chart as well, I believe. I think there was 3 different angles. But you did a fantastic job. I was smiling ear to ear yesterday when you posted it. No joke. Because now when I look at it, I know when I see Nick, who's finding himself his own personality, the way to respond to people, he's trying to earn his respect through everybody, even the skeptics, as I do every day. But he's trying to find his voice in a way that he can, you know, relay it to the audience better without maybe getting emotionally frustrated, because it's very difficult. So Nick, if you're watching this, I know what you're going through, and I know you're trying every single day to figure out the balance. But now, from what I've seen with Crypto Cooter, I know we can trust what he's saying too, because when he posted about the Total 3, it was spot on. And we'll go to the Total 3 why it was spot on. And I posted about it this morning where we could drop as well. But also the rise and drops, because I like to show the overall picture in my morning post on the Telegram. But he was spot on. Absolutely spot on. But we do have a new member, and thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor, Crypto Cooter. And Nunya, make sure, and I'm going to share a post here. Every time somebody joins Tom's Army, I share a post to the members only on YouTube to remind them about the Telegram, and you're going to be alerted. So make sure you click on this link, my friend. And if you don't see it because YouTube suppresses it, all you have to do is go to my YouTube channel, click on post, and you'll get the members only post. So let me get this link. And we're doing something that nobody else is doing here. I firmly believe that. And I wish I didn't have to put it behind the members of Tom's Army, but it also gives everybody in Tom's Army something special of their own. Like, you're in Tom's Army, and now you get to join the Telegram. At first, I had it open to everybody, and then I closed it down for 3 years because of all the people that were ruining it. And then this time I opened it. We got to about 370 members before I finally had to call a spade and say there's way too many people trying to scam our own members because it's too easy to get in here. So we made it for members of Tom's Army. So I'm sharing this to members of Tom's Army, Nunya. Make sure you click on this, and it'll bring you into the Telegram that I was showing where I post all of my stuff when I'm not live. Or when I can't do an update. Or not even just can't. I can't just do stuff all day, every day, because my content's got to get around. But what we're looking at here are these bear flags. Bitcoin has it. Everything has it. Now, can we have a double bottom here? That's the question. If we get a double bottom, it might save us some pain. But if not, we have to pay attention to the fact that there is the possibility here that something bigger is building for this short-term drop. And you guys have heard me say, and some of you are sick of it because you've expressed your fact you're sick of it, how I've talked about, I think, you know, we might have to wait until Q1 of 2026 to have the ultimate push. So everything in between is going to be kind of noise. But it'll push us into alt season, but we won't get that confirmation possibly until Q1 26 or late 25. But we still have to remember August and ultimately September is usually the most bearish month of crypto, is in September. And these little flags that seem to be building out, it's a lot different than what we built here, because here we built an arm on the way down, an inverted head, inverted right shoulder. Here we just came right through. There's no arm. There's nothing. This could be an arm right now, down to a head, which, watch this. What if we just showed this? Okay, well, we built, and this is why I like to look at stuff like this. You're welcome, Nunyan. Thank you so much for believing in what I do and putting the trust in me and putting your hard-earned money into my community and helping me continue to do this, because I do it the free model. I don't charge for any of my content. And I've been doing that since March 24th of 2021 when I started here. And the cool thing is I've never missed a day of doing this show. So you're always going to be in the loop. But what if it did come down here and do something like this, and then do something like this, and this actually was a left shoulder being built to a head to a right shoulder, and then we would come back up. So I'm looking at that scenario if this bear flag drops. I'm trying to find reasons why it would come down there. Or maybe it just comes down into here. You know, and you do the same thing. But I'm trying to find what makes sense here. And then I went to the Total 3, and I seen what Crypto Cooter says. Now, there's no guarantee this falls through, because with liquidity the way it is, and I like to go up and down to search everything, just to make sure that we're getting the same universal upswing or downswing at the same time. But when you look at the Total 3, it definitely speaks to the same pattern setup. It does. It does. And, you know, it really does. And, When you go into the stochastic, it's overbought in the daily. Weekly's overbought. Monthly is in a pretty decent range, but if the other two dump down, this will end up in oversold again. Well, maybe not. No, monthly probably won't be as affected. But if the weekly clears out here and we get this I'm telling you, a 5% drop here would be fantastic. Not to go back to oversold, but to get out of overbought and come back into neutral. We need the neutral maybe here. Or maybe even come down a little bit to 65 and clear it out. But neutral would be nice. We don't have to come all the way. But it would be nice to clear out the overbought sentiment and maybe come down to 62 or 63. And then that would allow the daily to really shift down. That would allow it to at least reset down in neutral. Maybe even farther down, but it would at least reset. And that's what needs to happen here. We built a cup, and the handle should come back down to about the 50% point from this big reversal on the bottom. The W reversal into a cup should build a handle down at about 50% down. So I think getting down here would make sense. So I'm trying to tell myself why this isn't going to happen. I need invalidation or volume for that to happen, for my mind to shift. So I can only share with what I see. Now, does it play through? For most of our sakes, hopefully not. And I only say that because there's so many people that would just rather see it go up. But it does make sense. So don't necessarily throw it out the window. Right now, XRP is retesting that 306 as resistance instead of support. So, good morning. 11:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, August 15th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. It's the same reason I haven't talked a lot about XDC. I'm waiting for this breakdown. And I think that could lead the way. Maybe this is showing us the way. And look at the daily, oversold. The weekly, overbought, broken through the bearishness a little bit because it broke through the trend line. The monthly, can't really tell on this chart because of how it is, so we'll just stay in the week. Oh, wait a minute, it did load up. Good, it was just slow. Weekly, the monthly flipped bullish. And the moving average convergence divergence is flowing positively. So we're just trying to catch up a little bit of, we're trying to get a little bit of relief here in the weekly is what it looks like. As the daily continues to roll and overbought or oversold, and all of these seem like they're starting to catch up to where it needs to be. You see on the lower time frames, they broke back bearish as far as the stochastic's concerned, and they're going to head back towards that oversold. They're going to catch up to the daily. And in the weekly, it's in our best benefit for it to just cool off a little bit. Even if it doesn't come back to neutral, come back down here and retest this shoulder on the inverse left side at 69 or 70. Let it cool off just a tiny bit. That's all we're looking for. A small 5% correction here could be everything. It could go out to 10%, but a small drop here. Oh, absolutely. Algo, IOTA, big opportunities coming if this happens. And it's the same thing with them all. And you can read between the lines what I do. I'm not going to tell you what I'm doing with my portfolios anymore, but, I'm giving you information that I use myself. So if I say you have a chance to get out of the way, more than likely I might be utilizing that myself. So, it is what it is. And then I give you targets to look for. So, right now on the bear flag, we'll go IOTA, then Algo. And IOTA, if this happens, I'm going to be one happy, happy man. Because what I ended up doing, the strategy, I always talk about it. If it doesn't hold, I have no problem on BITUNIX doing some strategic things. So, 1787 is a good spot. There's going to come a point, though, where this stuff is irrelevant. It's just where we were at, it makes sense to clear out a little bit. And that doesn't mean we're going to invalidate these patterns all the way. Nor does it mean we're going to come all the way down there. Because I think I misinterpreted this one. We need to go in the 30-minute to see the actual drop. I might not have misinterpreted as much as I thought. Because that's early, because we haven't got there. Maybe the hourly. Okay, it's the hourly. The hourly is a perfect spot to do it. Got the dot cross. So yeah, 1811 area might be suffice there. We were overbought in the daily, and it's breaking down now. In the weekly, we're coming back down to the neutral area, which is good. The 4 hourly's back into oversold, but needs to correct to a double bottom, in my opinion. 3 hourly's doing the same thing. 2 hourly should be catching back up because it needs to come back down and confirm that bot. It all makes sense for this drop. Like, there's nothing that I'm seeing here. And I love that I put the stochastic and the moving average convergence divergence back on here, just so that I can make it a little clearer when I'm talking. I think it helps. Exactly. They trained us the last few weeks for a weekend pump, didn't they? Crypto Cooter, isn't that crazy? They really did. The last couple of weeks, they made us for a while know that weekend dumps were coming. And now all of a sudden, the last month or so, they've all pumped. And this could be a strategic time for them to just pull it down here on the weekend. I agree, Crypto Cooter. Unless I'm misreading what you're saying, I agree. But I'll say hi to a few of you and see how this shakes out here. And right now, unfortunately, it's shaking out to the downside. XRP absolutely got rejected at 306 here. I also have been watching ZIL because this could get ugly here if this actually pans out for ZIL. I mean, ugly. Big opportunity here if ZIL gets ugly for me and you. And AI Vora, take a look at it. They have spot, ZIL, and that's the main reason I use that exchange. And it's on the video description below and or pinned comments. But I am playing it safe here, as you know. I think safety is the best approach in certain avenues, depending on your own personal strategies. But 1026 would be that. And look, if it comes down there, it could oh man, that's the thing. These could reset this pattern if they do this. That's what's so scary about this. Like, is this going to be one of those 20 or 30% drops or just a 5% drop? That's what I don't know. I'm serious, guys. Like, I could see just the 5 or 10%, but what if it does get over liquidated because we have options expiring? You know, I don't know. I don't think it's going to go 20 because there's too much topside liquidity, but I certainly can see a 5 to 10. Certainly can see a 5 to 10. And right now we're in that uh-oh moment because if XRP slips any farther, you're going to see sub $3. And we talked about it last week, but we kind of got held up here for a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. I just like to kind of try to stay out ahead of this. And then if it proves us wrong, thank you. Because then we know we're going up. But right now we gotta either let these bear flags play out and get out of the way, or put some money to the side and buy it the way down, or have some liquid capital, because that's always the best option in a macro view. And then once it plays out, you attack, or you sit, you wait, you let this bear flag play out, and you continue normal operating procedure. Nobody's strategy is better than anybody else's, nor should you do what anybody else does. Like, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And what works for me might not work for you. All I'm trying to do is, in my best ability, is to try to help you the best way I know how, and that's to be transparent. You know, I'm just trying to be transparent. It's the best way I know how. So, whether it plays up or down, at least you're going to have all that vital information to make the best, honest decision that you could possibly make. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. And I hope you are too. But yeah, it's no fun having to come on here and be like, we're bearish. It's a lot funner when I come on here and we're talking the bullish. It really is. I think you guys can understand that. I really do think you understand when I say that, because it's true. I'd much rather talk to bullish all day, every day. Did he get his cars? Yeah, I'm going to go get my son his cars while we are bleeding. And whoever, I don't remember who it was who sent that $20 donation out of town, but this was for my son because of you. He gets his, he gets a 20-pack. I told you I'd buy it when we got back home, and I did today. So I bought him a 20-pack of Hot Wheels, and he's going to freaking love it. So thank you. I can't remember who it was. If you would announce yourself if you're in here, I'd greatly appreciate it. E.T., look what somebody got for you on the show. Look what somebody got for you on the show. I'll tell them thank you. I kept my word. I bought it because somebody on the show sent $20 on the chance. Okay, so T is very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. So thank you so much for your generosity and paying it forward through T. I love it. I love it. I'm going to order those. I was hoping they would get here during the live so I could acknowledge that. So anyhow, Dan Marginal, welcome in and thanks for being in Town Zone for your second month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. XRP Rippers, welcome in, buddy. Been around for a hell of a long time. Love seeing you in here. That's OG. Mike B, David Hoff, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for the first month, along with Michael, with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens, and that is my face superimposed on that emoji badge. I kid you not. Mark Caston, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. In my father's kitchen, good morning, says, today is the day the Lord has made. I'm rejoicing and glad in it for the long haul. Amen. And don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And I'm so proud that in my father's kitchen brought up our Father and Yeshua and Yahweh, because now the Lord is present amongst us. God becomes present in our actions when two or more speak the name. Or speak the word. And it's incredible when you have guidance. Aurelian Anthony Venegas, welcome in. Defined Group, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month, 3+ months with the XRP Meteor, but being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram and a very vital part of what I do. Says, hey everyone, hit that like button on the way in. Consider subscribing and joining Tom's Army. If you aren't in the Telegram, you are doing yourself a major disservice. Don't miss out. I agree. It's growing into something so special right now. So special. Jay Freemix, welcome in and happy Friday. XRP Lemur and G Stott, welcome in. And along with Mrs. G Stott. Both of them are in the house today. I really appreciate all three of you being in Tom's Army for the first month with the emoji badge and me being abducted by aliens. But Mr. and Mrs. G Scott, I love seeing family unity in here as well. Husband and wife. I love it. I believe you're both in the Telegram as well. If not, make sure you click on the post in the members only, and you would have seen it this morning because we had a new member join Tom's Army. But I love seeing both of you in here. Thank you so much. And Mrs. G Scott, Stott, I'm honored. I'm honored. I am too with Mr. Stott, but you know, as they say in crypto, it's a lot harder to attract the female audience just because it's a whole different thing. But I think my women audience, the women part of our, you know, over the men, I think they have a much more emotionally sound way of trading, and they make better decisions. So it's good to have your significant other, you know, at least involved in it. I keep Julie involved. She keeps me honest. Ben Graham, welcome in. Rick, good morning, and thanks for being a very, very trusted mod, my friend. And also in here from the very, almost the start of when I started doing this on YouTube. CJ2 Pilot, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Jorge, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here and in the Telegram, and also in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRB Predictor. Says, hello, people. Hello, Tom. Everyone have a blessed Friday. You too, Jorge, and thank you so much for blessing the community. Tanya May, welcome in, love, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 2 years with the XRP 589 Moon badge. I hope you're doing okay, finding peace, and finding a way to, you know, have a little bit of comfort here. Crypto Cooter, good morning, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6+ months with the XRP Predictor. Kyle Kupiak, Cape Cod Kyle, welcome in. And thank you so much for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge from Massachusetts. As most of you know, I most famously said he was from Florida like 3 times before I finally figured it out. Silver Days XRP, welcome in, and thanks for being not necessarily in Tom's Army, but thanks for being a part of this community for such a long time now. I definitely recognize that name. Much appreciation, my friend. Poop Soup, good morning. I'll just continue to hold with my luck. I play the micro. That's the problem here. What if it only comes down a little bit and doesn't play it out? That's the risk involved. That's why if you're in it for a while, you look at it from the macro. If you're looking for an entry, you look for the micro drop. If you're looking for expansion, you look for that micro drop. You know, so It's a risky business to just buy and sell, buy and sell. It is, it is, it is. Define says, I sound smart. I love it. I love it. Daytona Crazy, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor. Sean and Deb Wilson, another couple here in Tom's Army for their first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. Thank you all. Like, the couples are growing here. It's like the unity in the family is so much better. For anybody who listens to Dave Ramsey, some hate him. They think he's a self-righteous prick, but he pushes a good message. You know, about if you're in a relationship, the significant other, either side has to be involved equally. Whether one does the finances and one does, that's irrelevant. But you both have to have equal say. I might do the trading on crypto, but I still involve Julie and let her know what's going on. And then if something isn't in the right balance, like I'm putting too much or something, you know, if I'm doing something stupid, she'll say it. It's my job to listen. Man, all of these are holding on to that. Make it like Zill's at that 1100 area. XRP's just about at that point where if it comes any lower, it's going down to $2.98, if not worse. V-Chain's just at that area. If it comes down a little bit farther here and invalidates 2394, we might as well, we very well could come to 225 area. Like, we're getting into these areas. Maybe it just stops here at 235, but we're getting into the areas where these bear flags can actually play out here. They can actually play out. They truly can. So that's what we're looking for. Can we hold here? Or are we not going to hold? Right now, first bearish sign was coming through these areas and losing that massive support across the board. That was a bearish sign. So now we need to see if we can eat it alive here. Like I said, XRP below 306 is a bad sign. And there definitely is a reversal that's taking place here in the short term. Now it's a matter of, is there going to be follow through and complete that reversal, or can we get some volume here? Your guess is as good as mine. Jesse, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Army for your first month with the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. I greatly appreciate that, and seeing you more and more in the Telegram as well. I get to know people a lot deeper in the Telegram. IB Killing, welcome in. Paranomia, good morning. XRPH goes up when Bitcoin goes down, and the other way around. Not necessarily. It does sometimes, but oftentimes what you'll realize is if the market does end up dropping, it's just a delayed reaction. So then this would end up coming back down here almost with certainty if the market drops. So yeah, it looks like it in the interim, but it always catches up. So it'll more than likely just come down to 569 if the market does continue down at minimum. So I would expect it to come down and give most of that back. Maybe a 1% gain when it's all said and done. But, you know, you got these problems here. Axelar's in the same boat. And it's an early dropper. It already invalidated this lower structure. So that is invalidated. Now the question is this building to left the real shoulder here or something bigger going on? This is why I am not opposed to just letting it play sometimes and going away. Like, stay away, go away, wait until it hits that point. And that would be 31.4 so I can see how it plays. Because otherwise, with Axelar, the problem here is, especially with Axelar, this is not everyone, but then you've got the bigger bear flag that if this happens and then it gets invalidated on a pushback up for rejection, then you've got the two-step possibility. This is why I said, are we in for a 5 to 10? Or one of those random 20% areas where all of a sudden we find ourselves not at 31.2. We find ourselves where all of a sudden they get a little overzealous here with all the liquidations over time. And maybe you go boom, boom, bounce back up and then back down. But what's the odds that we would have a fallout event here with everything going on? Force, because everybody says all these bad numbers is why we're not going to have rate cuts. I disagree. I think all these bad numbers are going to guarantee that they're going to use it for a rate cut. So it's my understanding that going into September, they blow it all up. They blow it to shit. And while everybody's getting punched in the dick, guess what goes up? Precious metals. Guess who gets rich? The guys who aren't paying attention and they're actually sitting in sound real money, real store of value, gold, silver. They have the real risk on / risk off asset because it does it in both environments, mining stocks. Look at these guys. They are flying right now. B2 Gold's almost up to $4 this morning. Pan America Silver is at a 4-year high. First Majestic is over $9. Fortuna's up to $7.46. Hekla's approaching $8 here. It's incredible what's happening here. Silver's not even at 38 right now, and the miners are moving. Gold's been flat here the last couple of weeks, and miners are moving, the gold miners. What's going to come next is going to knock your dick off. Oh, excuse me. Knock your socks off. Might as well just say it's going to melt your dick off. But some of you don't have one, but, you know, you can put it in perspective. You know, it's going to singe your hairs because this is going to get pretty spectacular. So if you're playing both sides of this and you understand it like we do, there's no bad days. In fact, a lot of them are equally good days. But when crypto goes down, money has to find yield, right? So if everybody's afraid in risk assets, where do you think the money's flowing this morning away from crypto? Where do you think it's flowing into? Is it any coincidence that you see 1% and 2% and 5% losses across the board in crypto, and then you see 1 or 2 or 3% gains in mining stocks? Or you see gold starting to pick up as the US dollar is flattening out a little bit? But the outlier here is going to be as if the US stock market can flip eventually here and avoid a bigger drop. This is always going to help us. You know, what happened to the TV? Did it shut off? I must have shut it off on accident. Because I had it on the TV so I could see the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P. And I put HSN on. I like watching that sometime. Or is it QVC I like at night? Which one shows the electronics? Is it both of them or is it HSN? Yeah, S&P's down 18 points. NASDAQ's getting humiliated right now. There's our problem. NASDAQ's getting bent over. It's down 109 points. Oh, that looks brutal. Yeah, that's bad. NASDAQ's getting hammered and so is the S&P. Wow. That definitely puts it in perspective. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it had gotten down to 109 on the S&P. I mean the NASDAQ. Interesting. No, I don't want to watch that. Go back to the... There we go. So, yeah, I mean, you can see money's flowing away right now from risk, and it's going into sound money today, it looks like. The NASDAQ tells a story down 118 points. We'll see if that reverses up at all. We'll see if that reverses from 118 points. FLE, good morning. The Cannabis Podcast, welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 6 months with the XRP Predictor. And also, I really think the Fed will rug pull the rate cut. No. I think September's a good bet. If they don't do it in September, big rate cuts to start. They're going to do rate cuts. The government can't afford to hike it. Trust me. They can't. Was I wrong when I predicted them increasing rates back in 22? No. Was I wrong about when they would start QE? Nope. Was I wrong about when they did quantitative tightening? Nope. Was I wrong about when they did every single rate cut? Nope. Or when they stayed the same? Nope. So I think our best odds are still September, unless for a very weird circumstance that they don't do it in September and then they wait and then they clean house and fire Powell and do all this other shit, which is the only scenario I could see why they would do it. But over the next few weeks, I expect everything to bleed a little bit. Only not precious metals, because money has to find yield somewhere. But I think they're trying to set it up. Wouldn't it make sense that Ethereum goes back to 4,000 if it has to right before September? We've only got 2 weeks until September. Then they'll say, oh my God, all the markets are being hammered. Trump's damn tariffs. We got to do something. You know, and look, now all of a sudden Zill lost that 1-1. Now we're getting into a danger zone across the market here. Bitcoin loses this 117.1. That's a problem. It's already a problem. 115 would be the next area right here, but I don't think it holds that more than likely at 115.7. This pattern suggests 112.6 if it breaks down. It's not my fault that it suggests it. I'm not the one telling it. The pattern's telling it, not me. You know, now you could lower it even if you want to go down here, but then it makes it even lower if that happens. So I'm not trying to say this is the market speaking through me. I just know the charts. I'm just glad I have the Telegram now and the way that Define set it up for me to have my own pager section to where I can use it as a newfound X account. It's awesome. I love my Telegram. Yes, it gets, you know, a little chaotic at times, but we have such good practices in place that now we can spot the anomalies in 2 seconds. So can the audience. So now if somebody tries to spam them, they immediately say, oh, this is what happened. We have a red alert zone. We have a help section. We have several mods. I need to add one more, but I haven't found the right person yet. I'm getting close, but I don't know. There's one person that I've had on my heart, but I don't know if he would do it because he's busy. But it's another person who's very good at the charts, and I've spoke of them today in the community. And it's just somebody that I trust and somebody that has grown and earned my respect here in the last couple of months because he's been willing to show drops before they happen, and that's Crypto Cooter. You know, and that's somebody I would like to promote, you know, in the Telegram, but I've already just promoted in here in the YouTube channel. So Crypto Cooter, I made you a mod in here as well in the YouTube, on my YouTube. Just so you know, so if you comment, you're gonna have something different next to your name. True, welcome in, a long-time viewer and somebody who's really respected with the charts as well. Really respected. So, awesome to see you all in here. Ricci Farms, welcome in, and thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. Sean Crothers, thanks for being a very trusted mod in here as well. Yes, macro play, accumulation. Absolutely. Unless you haven't gotten in the market yet, or unless you have I mean, people have their own approach, but yes, in general, that's the best approach. It certainly is. Absolutely. Better than I deserve, right, Sean Crothers? Love it. I love it. Let's see. Oh, Stouffer. Absolutely. There you are. The Stouffer is the one who sent it. Absolutely. I remember now. When you made that comment. He does love him, my friend. Thank you so much. I know it was you who sent that 20. Thank you so much for that. Was able to get him 20 Hot Wheels cars. It comes in a pack for 20 bucks. You know, somewhere right around 20 bucks. So, and he's using them right now. He was so happy when I brought him in there. So happy. I'm glad I got to do it during the live. Wow, 1 year for 1970 legend. He's our residing Ohio State fan. Great guy, great guy. And we feed off of each other because we both know we need each other for our teams to be as good and to cheat the way they do and to pay as much money as they do to win. Oh, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, and the Buckeyes have taught us a thing or two since 2000. That's how you win titles. Just ask Alabama, Georgia, the SEC in general. So everybody claims Ohio State did it just to win the Big Ten and to beat Michigan, but that's not necessarily true. Yes, that helped, but they knew they couldn't compete with the SEC, as Michigan found out and finally acknowledged it in 2020. So, you know, it is what it is. But the defending national champions in the house wouldn't even let me live my championship for a whole year. But it's okay. The Big Ten is running strong right now. Now we got 2 teams that can actually compete for the college football playoff this year, which is going to be fun. And yeah, even 1970 legend knew nothing was going to happen. We knew it would be a big fine and things like that. So, you know, it's all fun and games, but I love it. And thank you for being in Tom's Army for over 12 months now. That's crazy. Finally upgrades to that 1 year badge. Look at that. Look at that. 1 whole year breaking my balls because he's the defending champion. Not even breaking the balls. He had to sit through it when we were the champs, damn it. But now it's time for me to have my humility. And everybody was mad at me. I was rooting for Ohio State to win the championship when it was in the national championship, as you all know. I'm rooting for the Big Ten over the SEC or anybody else. Give me the Big Ten all day. Anyhow. Let's see. Mosey here. Welcome in and thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. Oh, yeah. I didn't sell my XRP XRP Healthcare. That's not part of this discussion. That stays. Even if I sold everything, that's not part of the discussion. So I always forget to say that. Wondering what you think Band could get up to this cycle. Ooh, G-Stot. That is an interesting question. Nobody knows for sure. But eventually when this plays out, and we've talked about this possible 2-layer drop. I don't know which one it's going to be. I talked a couple days ago about the ultimate buy. Could be around 0.48. But a drop here and a hold could be a double bottom even. It's just if we invalidate this inverse head and shoulders, like I think could happen here. I think we might come down and reset a much larger pattern. And it makes sense that that third tap. It really does when I start looking at this stuff. But I don't know if we're going to come that far. I'll be honest. That's just the bottom of this. But this is an extremely bullish consolidation. It's like a descending wedge in the making. These are very bullish consolidations. And they are pattern reversals on the down. So eventually this is going to play in our favor. It's just like I said a couple days ago, if you guys weren't here, and I'll re-emphasize it. This can go out until I think 28. Yeah, right around first quarter of 28, this could consolidate until. Now, I don't know how far, if it has to come all the way back down or not. We don't know. We're just speculating if it broke this structure, which it's leaning towards doing that a little bit, but it hasn't done it yet. Make no mistake about it. None of these have broken down the structure yet. Yet. And like there's certain ones that I don't touch that I have staking that you can unstake in 1 or 5 days depending on the bounding period. There's 3 of them that I don't touch no matter what, and I just add to them. And the last so long, I'm not going to talk about any deeper, but that's just what I'm looking at right now. And I think I'm better off just talking about the charts and not all the inner work, and just, hey, this is what can happen, and this is what I feel is going to happen, and this is what we have to watch out for. XRP is on the verge here of under $3. And the cool thing is this isn't new news. Like if you're just part of my community, we've talked about the up, but in the micro, we always talk about 2. I just keep rephrasing though that we're not done yet. We haven't hit the top of the cycle. And then I'll sneak in here, about falling under $3, talking about the under $3, the possibilities. I try to sneak that into the short so people don't get as mad. Like, is XRP taking aim under $3 or ready to reverse? Just putting in the last couple of days that get it in your head that it could happen, or do we reverse very quickly? And it's so true because we don't know. And that's where we're at right now. It's so crazy. We're legitimately at that point with the market right now, and it's so cool. Right now, if Ethereum keeps going, we got 4,000. What was that? 4,000. And I love doing this in real time. I swear I do. 4,170 underneath. We've come through the 4-hourly and invalidated that higher structure so far. Broke right through the 2-hourly, and if we continue, we should retest the 200, which is right near that area. Our biggest thing right now would, I think, be the hourly 200 now. Can we hold the... If we keep coming down, 4,333 would be a big area. But those are micro levels. So 45, we're trying to bounce and see what happens. 30-minute, we came right through, which is a horrible sign.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've been looking at this as some sort of a leading destruction for some time. I mean, obviously...
Let's have to see. If any of these micro rallies back up can push us back through these very pivotal resistance. We need to see XRP over 306 or it's a certainty we're going under $3. We need to see Ethereum bounce back over here where it's a certainty we're coming down to those levels we just spoke of. And then we could find ourselves back towards that 4,000 level. Like we haven't had a big back test here at all. We just kind of came right up, and that's never a good thing. The minimum back test, I think, should be about 4,356 here. Never came back and tested any of this at all. Also never came back. Well, I mean, you could say micro levels here. We actually went up, back, up, back, up, back, up, back. Didn't come all the way down, though, so that's a noticeable thing there around 4,070, obviously, in my opinion. 3,993 is also another number that will come into play if we keep coming down. That's actually the top here that we couldn't break over back in the... Actually, it's 3,941. But that's where we couldn't get past from the past. Yeah, okay. 3,935. I'm going to go 941. Yeah, 941. So these are all micro levels that we can test. Isn't that crazy when you start to look at it? These are all micro levels that could be tested. So, oh yeah, and then 4,300 and what was that? Oh, here's a perfect way to look at this. If you want this to get hot here, you got to retake the 200-day or the 20-day and the 2-hourly. So anything under 4,619 is not technically good here. So, what's that? Oh, it's a little guitar. Well, guys, I'm almost done with this live, as you know. I'm just trying to update you the best I can here, but I want to go hang out with my son a little bit here, too. I think I've done a good job here explaining it up and down, left and right. And just look, have some capital to the side just in case. Ethereum treasury firm Sharp Link stock dips 10% after posting 103 million gap loss in Q2. Interesting. But I'm interested to see how this. I will be very interested to see how this plays out from here. But guys, please join the Telegram. Please join the Telegram. Yes, I agree to find Crypto Cooter has been a gem. A few weeks ago, I asked if someone could keep an eye on our help desk and helping answer questions. He's been killing it. I agree. I appreciate that, Tom. It helps solidify what I feel I have been learning from you. Excellent. Excellent. That makes me very happy. So add as moderator. So now, Crypto Cooter, now that I got, now you can comment here and you'll see your mod. I just wanted to make sure that you were receptive. So, Define. I want to do that in the Telegram. And he's, I think that he's going to be our, what's the right word to fit in? I have the right word. I just got to spell it out real quick. Let me get my phone. Because we have our integrity, we have our compliance agent, our integrity agent, we have our technical advisor. But I still think there's one missing. And the way you worded it with that he was watching over what we're doing, I think that's important because I think I actually have a name for him. So let me try something real quick. And I appreciate everybody who has tuned in. As you know, we're coming to an end of this live. But doesn't mean it's the end of what we do. There's so much more outside of just here that you can be a part of. Let me go into my settings. So we have Syrian in here as well. And Syrian's our sanctuary agent. We have Jorge, who is our integrity agent. We have Define, who's our compliance agent. We have Nick, which is our tech agent. I say technical advisor all the time. And then I really think when I look through this and I see the names out in front of me, like what we call it, I think we needed a security advisor or a security, like a, what would be the right word for security agent? Hold on, let me try to figure this out. We need somebody who's, and you said he was helping and he was watching out in the help center. So what's somebody who's like the watchful eye? What would he be? Oh yeah, we'll look at the total crypto. Absolutely, Scotty Trades. I'm sorry, I seen how you were saying head and shoulders. And you've been spectacular in these lives because a couple days ago you put that in shoulders as well. You talked about it. So absolutely we'll look at this. Let me just finish this real quick because that absolutely plays into what we're talking about. There is a head and shoulders that is breaking down through the right shoulder now in the 2 hourly. Spot on. Spot on. Hold on, would you guys say I need a Buckeye as head of security? You know, 1970 legend, you are in here and you've been in here for so long. I almost did this before. Welcome to the YouTube mob team. There's our head of security. But what about this, Defined? Defined. What about this? And thank you for the $9.99 donation, 1970 legend. And the officer being in Tom's Arm for over 1 year and being awesome. Helps out a lot in here. But I think, Defined, are you still in here? What about Guardian Agent? Julie, what sounds better, Guardian Agent or Patrol Agent? or watchful agent. I like either guardian or patrol. Patrol agent on patrol. We're on patrol. He's in control. That is Crypto Cooter. Yeah, hey, I like that actually. Patrol agent. What do you think? Patrol agent defined? Crypto Cooter. I'm gonna do that right now. So you're gonna have an advanced level of and we have to do this. We're almost up to 500 members now. I'm well behind in how many people I should have as admins, but it has to be a collective flow. It has to flow right. It just has to. And I don't hold any abilities from my admins, as you know. You guys have full rights. If I trust you, I trust you. So now we have a patrol. I hope that sounds good to you, Crypto Cruder, because I do feel like you patrol the community. It's perfect. I think it's perfect. I am not allowed to do this. What did I do? Take away my own rights? How come I can't add an admin? That is so weird. Why am I not allowed to do this? What the hell? Define, can you figure this out? Tom Rose is taking over. I know. Sorry, Rose, but I'm going to have to edit your admin rights right now. You are being banned for just a second. Not banned, but I'm turning off all. I cannot do this. It won't let me do anything. I can't change anything, apparently. Isn't that interesting? I wonder why that is. What's going on here? But yeah, let me yeah, define, we'll look at it. But one last thing here with the total. If this is a head and shoulders, I gotta go. I got things to do. As you guys know, it's still early in the day. But I'll be back tonight, so we'll continue on this topic of discussion, okay? But if this drops, we're looking that 3.68 is a great area. Just a short look at it would put us somewhere. I mean, it puts us right in that area. If we let this play out a little bit and then get the confirmation in the 2-hourly, it's gonna put us it's gonna put us right where you said. Actually, it'd be the shorter time. But it would, so 3.72 is on the table. I absolutely agree with that. 368 to 372 area you're talking about. 100%. Scotty Trades. Excellent. 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 Frankie Fresh, thanks for being in Tom's Arm for 6+ months with the XP Predictor. I got to go, my friend. I got to do some stuff around here. Been here for over an hour. A lot to watch, though, my friend. Lots to watch. And I'll be here after. I'll be here tonight as well. So thank you all so much. Be blessed and have a blessed afternoon.